Hank Brennan has definitely improved the presentation in this second case. I think he needed to do two primary things, and that is, number one, explain the Google searches of Jennifer McCabe in the early morning hours, because that would be indicative of a conspiracy. And they brought in the tech expert to explain that it was a tab opened versus that particular time. And then also the injuries on O'Keefe's arm. I've always had a problem with that animal-like slashes that was seen. And that's what they tried to do last with that last witness, Dr. Welsher, and explain with that paint transfer experiment. But I do have a big problem, and I think the door's left a little open, at least on the accident reconstructionist, because they did not call Trooper Paul, who had a very inconsistent opinion versus Welsher, because Welsher did that experiment at 2 miles an hour, when it could be as high as 23 miles an hour with that rear speed. That is a problem because the experiment here is at 2, and I would think, and the primary argument was, where's the force in this analysis, doctor? And he did not take into account force. And if that vehicle is traveling at a higher speed, it would be more indicative of a throwing, or what Trooper called flying, versus that glancing blow. So I think the door is a little open here on that part, because it's very important for the prosecutor to explain the arm. What's going to happen with Proctor? What's going to happen with Paul? Because Brennan, he did not call those two of the biggest weak spots in the prosecution's first case, and I just wonder how this defense team is going to deal with that. They were trying to get the Trooper Paul discovery and those comments out with Welsher, trying to say that he relied on some of Paul's measurements and pictures, which they did not really get a chance to get into Paul. So I wonder if they're going to do it on their case. They do have experts lined up. We know they do, and they've been really good on their cross-examination. But can they do what they did last time is a big question. And what are they going to do with Paul and Proctor?
I feel great. I'm anxious. I'm ready to put on our case, which will be more robust than it was last year. So I'm anxious for everyone to learn what we know.
What differences will you have for your case?
More witnesses. Broader and deeper.